So the other day, I was at an event for my part-time job. I saw my old friend from elementary school I would occasionally see during my college years, but we truly haven't talked since around elementary or middle school. We caught up, talked about old memories together like staying up all night on the GameCube, trying to unlock Mewtwo on Super Smash Bros. Melee, playing Minecraft at each other's houses, and how we both got into lifting but couldn't gain weight to save our lives. It was fun catching up with him and seeing the path he's taking now to become an optometrist. Knowing this friend growing up, this was the last thing I expected him to do, and I was so curious how he got to the point of finding a clear path to move forwards in life with. How did he get to this point of finding a clear path to a stable career? Turns out the answer was simple. He said he was looking for a job and ended up on a medical route. He tried optometry and simply ended up finding it interesting. What about all those games we used to play? Didn't that get in the way of his studying for optometry? Circling back to my background, after college, I went into a corporate job in data analytics, and I hated it. I had no interest in data or the work involved in it. The entire year I was working corporate, I did not enjoy myself. Sure, it was a job, but buying things or the job itself didn't bring me joy. I was looking for more than financial success. After reflecting on my life that year, I realized I didn't play video games that entire year. You may be thinking, that's kind of dumb, weird, or even good. Like I was suppressing part of me that wanted to have fun, to work hard. Because those two parts can't stay together. At least that's what it felt like at times. Knowing myself in college, the moment I would finish a project or exam, I would binge video games with my friends. Then the moment I would have an exam, I would cram for it without playing games leading up to it. Now to answer the question, if video games got in the way of my friends studying. At one point we were talking about video games in general, and talked about how they always came back into our lives. I was saying how I was recently getting interested in this one game I first played 12 years ago and hadn't played in years, and he was saying how he would go without video games for an entire year and it feeling normal. Then they slowly got back into his life. We continued to talk about games for a bit, and eventually we got on the topic of modern working, talking about the importance of finding something you're interested in doing. How working 40 hours a week is kinda absurd, especially with commuting, expectations of staying back to work more hours, and how salary and hourly jobs don't incentivize you to work harder. We talked about how the only real free day is a Saturday, because you can do what you want with little boundaries of time and duty. Then Sundays are often used to prepare for the cycle of work again. It's funny because at my old corporate job, I would often ask what my coworkers' plans for the weekend are, and often the answer would be something along the lines of nothing. Because the work week is so draining, the weekend would be used to binge things that could be summed up to nothing. We continue to talk about these norms and how they kinda suck. This got me thinking more lately how messed up the system is, and how a path outside of the system is so difficult. Difficult in terms of figuring it out, because the system itself has a path figured out, and to go astray from the system, we have to figure out the path ourselves. And figuring out this path requires a lot of thinking, doing, and failing. This isn't some motivational video for you to go chase your dreams and just break free from the system. This is just something I think about often, and how it feels most of us aren't truly made to fit the exact mold of this system. Like we aren't made for many traditional jobs nowadays. There's so many options and pieces that seem fun about different jobs, but no one job has it all, at least as I discovered. If you haven't found the thing you choose to do for life, it's a road of pain or acceptance seemingly, and for some reason I'm in the group that just cannot accept a job I can tolerate over doing something I truly enjoy. Like the need of money is so ingrained in us, and if your life path doesn't involve making a decent amount of money right away or a ton of money in the future, then it's the wrong path. Are we truly here to just make money and live a comfortable life, or even to simply make money and that's it? My generation is becoming more and more aware of the false promises of work and how this is just the way it is. Social media shows us different perspectives of life, confusing us in what we desire. And of course, social media is run by billion-dollar companies to keep us addicted, making it difficult to think for ourselves and what we desire. So, what does this existential rant have to do with video games? Well, after suppressing my old self and fighting the corporate life to simply work to make money for no other deep goal besides saving it for the future, I realized through these efforts that suppression causes depression. Rhyme. Anyways, the thing I used to do for joy was replaced with work that I didn't enjoy. It's like that choose three triangle of sleep, work, and social life. But my social life was video games, and for some reason, I could only choose one and a half of the three. And to keep my job, work was one. And the half was sleep because my brain going to bed go brrr. So the life I lived was that of hopes for the future. Because reflecting on it now, I didn't have much joy for many of the days I worked. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I didn't try to find it. Seemingly, I did everything I could do, but there's only so much you can do when you have no interest in the work, not much connection with coworkers, so drained from the work itself, so no time or energy for hobbies, and not spending much money because buying nice things is only so fun. So optimizing my health for work became the thing I relied on. Quite exciting to those Andrew Huberman fans out there. Eventually, after quitting, I still didn't play video games. Like it was some sin I wasn't allowed to do. Eventually, I tried to make YouTube my full-time job. I treated it the same way I treated my corporate job, put so many hours into it, optimizing everything about it, and was focused on results. But the videos I tried the hardest on did the poorest, and there was no human touch in my work. I had no joy in the process, and it showed. Eventually, I stopped posting videos as it ended up stressing me out. I would go on and off binging video games at some points. Another game I used to play in middle school, I started playing again, and it brought so much joy and fun, but I started spending a lot of time on it, like a habit that's neutral turned evil. So where did this take me? Binging games to going cold turkey, and once I went cold turkey, I realized I'm suppressing a part of me, a part that is truly me, and the effort it takes to suppress that part drains me. And even though spending time playing video games isn't necessarily productive or efficient, it brings me joy. And the joy I get from games allows me to be whole. It may sound silly to people who don't understand, but to those who get it, you can't simply force yourself to be an adult. At least for me. And if working 40 hours a week at a job just for money at the cost of my well-being is what an adult is, I don't want to be that. And I'm not promoting playing Path of Exile for 16 hours every other day, but that couple of hours every once in a while can't hurt you, especially if you've grown up doing these things. So as for my friend, even though we used to play many games, and he still plays games, well, League of Legends, if you could call that a game, he's on the path to becoming an optometrist. And I currently work part-time, and I'm still deciding where I'm going in life. It doesn't mean I must stop all video games and work towards a clear career path that has a retirement plan and great benefits, because what's the point of all that crap if I can't enjoy most of the days of my life? There's a lot to life, and I see that the systemized way of living is constrained and not for me. I don't have specific plans for this channel, so I'm just exploring and sharing in public. We'll probably fail often, but that's a part of learning. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you. I wish a blessed life to you. Ciao, ciao.